Hello friends, my name is Aditya and today we are going to discuss a small chapter or a small topic which is very essential or plays a crucial part in UPSC or any state PCS exams because they do ask questions from this particular chapter in their prelims plus means sometime for 10 marks, sometime for 15 marks. Okay, so our today's topic is temperature inversion. Temperature inversion. So what is temperature inversion? Before understanding the temperature inversion, we shall understand what is air or what is wind. Okay? So because this particular thing will help you out ahead in the chapter. Okay? So what is air? From the definition we know that this is a mixture of different kind of gases found in what? Found in atmosphere. Okay, what kind of gases? There is oxygen, of course, you know that, carbon, then comes nitrogen, etc, etc, etc. So this is air. And then what is wind? So what is wind then? So wind is basically the movement of air from high pressure area to low pressure area. And when we are saying low pressure area or high pressure area, it means we are talking about low pressure atmospheric area or high pressure atmospheric areas. Okay, so suppose, let me give you an example. Suppose this is a piece of land, okay, and this is another piece of land. This is your earth, okay. So suppose your sun is here, and it is giving direct sunlight to this particular area, this latitude. So what will happen? This particular area will become warm, and the air in warmer area will get lighter and it will start rising up. Okay, and there is another area here, which is not in direct contact with the sun. So the temperature of this particular area will be less than the temperature of this particular area. Okay, so what will happen? The pressure is, this is cold, this area is cold, okay, and the pressure is high here, and pressure is low here because of warm air and warm surroundings. Okay, so what will be the movement of the air or wind? The movement of the wind from the high pressure area to low pressure area. Okay, so this will be the movement of the air. Understood? Now let's come to the point, which is our today's topic, that is temperature inversion. Temperature inversion. So what is temperature inversion? Before understanding temperature inversion, let's understand lapse rate. Lapse rate. Have you guys ever went to the hill station? Have you guys ever went to hill stations like Shimla or another hill station which are very famous in Arunachal Pradesh, places like those? If you go to a certain height, you will feel the temperature there is much lower than the temperature which is nearer to the surface of the earth. So what is the reason behind it? According to lapse rate, if your altitude will be increasing, your temperature goes down. Okay, this is the normal phenomena. Suppose this is my home and I am visiting this hill station and the temperature here is 20 degrees Celsius. The temperature here will be less than 20 degrees Celsius. Suppose it is 15 degrees Celsius here. Okay. So this natural phenomena will be known as lapse rate. Okay. So what is lapse rate? So lapse rate is change in temperature of atmosphere with its altitude. Understood? So generally, if you will go 1000 meters above from the surface, average you will drop 6.5 degrees Celsius with each 1000 meter. Okay, so suppose I am residing here, this is my home, and I'll go 1000 meters above from my home. The temperature here will be 20 minus 6.5. Okay, so that is 13.5 degrees Celsius. Understood? That is lapse rate. So in lapse rate, what happens? The normal scenario is like this. This is your surface. This is Earth surface. Okay. This is your warm area. Warm area. Okay. And this is your cold area. This is your cold area. This is your normal situation. When I say normal situation, it means I am talking about the normal lapse rate situation. So if I move from here to here, from here to here, the temperature goes down. Okay. So this particular phenomena will be responsible for the formation of the clouds. This lapse rate. How? Let me tell you. As we know that whenever a particular area gets warmed up much more than the surrounding area of it, the temperature there will start rising. The air from that particular surface will start rising. Okay. But what do we know? That there is a movement of wind from high pressure to low pressure. So it goes to certain point. This warm air goes to the certain point. Okay. So here what happened? It gets cooled down. When it gets cooled down, it will try to subsidize itself. And when it tries to subsidize itself because of the pressure variation, they will get in contact with this particular thing. And due to this unstable condition, here the cloud will form, which causes rainfall. Okay. But what happens in temperature inversion? In temperature inversion, so suppose I draw a graph of lapse rate. This is the graph for lapse rate. This is my height. This is my temperature. Okay. Suppose this is 0 degrees Celsius. This is minus 5 degrees Celsius. And this is minus 10 degrees Celsius. This is 5 degrees Celsius. This is 10 degrees Celsius. This is 1,000 meters, 2,000 meters, 3,000 meters. Okay. So what will happen here? Suppose my height is in lapse rate case. Suppose my height is increasing, my temperature will go like this. This is the normal condition of the lapse rate. With increment in height, my temperature goes down. Okay. We started from 10 degrees Celsius. When I move to the much higher ground, my temperature starts to fall and it comes to around, suppose I am taking a temperature check here. So my temperature is here 0 degrees Celsius. You see, in normal condition, with the increase in height, the temperature will fall. But in temperature inversion, what happens? This temperature inversion, also known as negative lapse rate. So what happens in this temperature inversion? See, this is your earth surface. There will be a blanket of cold, then warm, then cold. This is your case of typical temperature inversion. So what will happen in temperature inversion? You see, since this is a cold surface, okay, and this is warmer surface, so the tendency of cold wind is to subsidize, you know that. So the movement will be like this, okay, and the warm wind or air will go up. So there is no intermixing. So this can't create a cloud. So in the case of temperature inversion, we can't create cloud. So what happens? The situation here is unstable. Okay? So if I put this particular temperature inversion on the graph surface, it will look something like this. This is graph for temperature inversion, okay? This is 1000 meter, same goes 200, 3, 4, okay? This is 0 degree, this is 5, -5, -10, -15, 5, 10, 15, okay? So if I follow temperature inversion, what will happen? Suppose I am increasing up my height, so my temperature starts to fall down till here. After that point, there will be a reverse in temperature. Reverse in temperature fall means again the temperature will start to rise. It will look like something like this. But when it will cross a certain limit, it will again start to fall. Why and how, that we will talk about. But here you must understand this. With the certain height, your temperature falls down. But after the certain height, your temperature starts coming back to its original form. Original temperature. Okay. So this particular scenario of low and high temperature is known as temperature inversion. Okay, I hope you understand that. So there are certain factors which influence this temperature inversion. Before that, you must know where this temperature inversion occurs and what are the requirements for this temperature inversion to be occurred. Okay. First, you need what? You need winter season. Winter season. Why you need winter season? Because suppose this is first week of December. Okay. My sun sets around 5 p.m. and it rises up around 8 a.m. So how many hours it took? 13 hours. So 13 hours it took to rise the sun. Means what? It means the nights were longer and it gave much time to the surface to get cooled down. So it will lose its temperature. Okay. so it will lose its temperature during the long night. So suppose during 5 p.m. this temperature was 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, so after 13 hours, since it get adequate time to lose its heat or temperature, the temperature of this particular area will be around 8 a.m. The temperature of this particular area will be around 14 degrees Celsius. Okay, 14 degrees Celsius, or you can say 10 degrees Celsius, and the warm air will be happening to cover the rest of the temperature which escaped from the first surface. Okay, went to the warmer port and it will stay there. So you see the classic case of cold and warm, that is temperature inversion. Okay, so that is winter season. You need clear sky. Clear sky means what? No formation of clouds. Okay, now where can you find the temperature inversion case around the world? So basically you cannot find it around tropical areas. Why not tropical areas? That we will discuss, but not today. But you will not find it around tropical area unless it is a desert area. Okay, you can expect it in mid or higher altitude areas. Okay, you can also find it around coastal areas. Okay, now let's go to the types of heat. So there are 4 types basically. First is, when I say type, it means the reasons. Okay, when I say type, it means reason. It is just a flow. It's just flow, nothing else. Okay, so first is surface, second is upper air. So there are basically 2 reasons behind it. One is the stratosphere and another one is mechanical. Then comes the frontal, and the last one is known as valley. Okay, so in our next video we will discuss about these types or the reasons behind the inversion of the temperature. Okay, till then, stay safe and see you in the next video.